Hello crafty people, this is Jarle from Handmade Cards Happy Heart. There is a new challenge this month over at the Cloud9 Crafts Store, and it's all about having fun at the beach. In the description box below you can find a link with all the supplies I used for this Summery card. Now let's dive in. Let me start by showing you the main items I used. I have this brand new stamp set called Pool Party with its coordinating dies, and then the largest one of the outside-in stitched rectangles. For my main focus I have the outside-in stitched sun and the stitched sun frame, and for my ocean I used the stitched wavy borders. I die cut that outside-in rectangle out of some spiffy speckles paper. This will be my background sky. And then I die cut two waves out of the moonstone cardstock. And both of the suns were die cut out of some sticky notes, yellow paper from Fawn. Now, as you all might already know, I do love to ink blend my die cuts. It just gives a nice finishing touch to the card, and also ink blending is just very fun to do. For my die cut suns, I blend a little bit of distress ink in the color Mustard Seed. I just do this on the inside of both of the suns, and I use my bitty blending brushes to do this. For the waves, I used the color Salty Ocean because, you know, this is supposed to be an ocean. So I just put a little bit of ink on the top edge of those die cut waves. You see me doing this here for one of the waves, but I just repeated that same process for that second wave. Then I also wanted a bit more interest onto my background sky, so I used that light blue tumbled glass color on my card panel. I think this is my most used color just because it's so light. You can use it on so many card panels. Now you will see that this fades into white, so it just gives a little bit of that extra something on my sky. I assembled my sun with some liquid glue from Fawn, and I just stacked the sun frame over the outside-in sun. I offset it a little bit so it creates those extra sun rays, as you can see here. The liquid glue also gives me a little bit of wiggle room to have it just in the right placement. Then I realized that the inside circle of the sun was a little bit too plain, so I just grabbed that same distress color again, which was the Mustard Seed, and I just inked a little bit onto the edges of that sun. I wanted to put a smiley face onto my sun, so to do that I first made kind of a guide. I die cut that smiley face onto some copy paper, and I placed that guide onto my sun, and then I could just place the eyes and that smile inside those negative pieces. I just used some liquid glue to do this, and then to finish it off, I cut the cheeks out of some ballet slippers cardstock, and I glued those down as well. And isn't that sun just adorable? I love it so much. Here I'm kinda fiddling with the placement of my sun and the waves. Now, when I was happy with how high the waves would go on my card panel, I just put a little pencil mark where that top wave would go, so I could glue them both down just in that right spot. First I adhered that sun, and then I glued down the waves, again, all using my liquid glue from Fawn. Off camera, I stamped my images from the pool party stamp set with MFT Extreme Black ink, since I wanted to color with my Copic markers. I always use my Misty stamping tool just because you can restamp when the image isn't crisp enough. Now for my coloring, you will see I already colored a bit off camera, but the colors I used for the inner tubes are actually the same as the colors I used for the beach ball. So you can see all the colors I used for all the images in this video. As always, I start with my darkest color, I then go in with my medium and then with my light color. I repeat this 2 times, so it gives a very nice color blend each time. I really like those E40s for the sloth. I think I use those for many critters. I don't know, I just really love that shade. After die cutting my images with the coordinating dies, I could assemble my card. Now with my white gel pen I just highlight those blushy cheeks of the critters. I didn't want to ruin the coloring, so I was afraid of putting down more white highlights. I really love the look of those highlights, but it just stresses me out. I don't know why, but I'm just too afraid of doing it most of the time. Now I'm just adhering down all my images, so I put my critters in those inner tubes just with some liquid glue. Then after that I adhered all critters onto the card panel with some little foam squares. This gives a little bit of dimension to the card, and I mean, we all love dimension, don't we? Now those beach balls are just adhered directly onto the card. I didn't use foam square for those. I scored and folded my card base and then adhered down my card panel onto that card base. Now because I used that outside-in rectangle, it gives a little white border all around the cards. I love how this looks. It's just all about adhering it down straight, which doesn't always work in my case. But I did a good job, I think. With my black gel pen, I accented the sunglasses of the llama a little bit. And then this finishes off the card for today. I really hope you like how it looks. If you like it, please give this video a thumbs up and please also consider subscribing to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!